The European Union is united in support of democratic freedoms and rights of Belarusian citizens. I stress that we are ready to engage and encourage an inclusive national dialogue, as well as the acceptance of the OSCE's mediation role. And today, ministers reconfirm that Mr. Lukashenko lacks any democratic legitimacy and gave their political green light to start preparing the next sanction package, which will include Lukashenko himself. Business as usual is no longer possible in our relations.
The High Representative was giving his summary of the Foreign Affairs Council yesterday. It was reported that the Belarusian Interior Ministry has said that security forces won't leave the streets and will use lethal weapons if necessary. Up until this point, they've used rubber bullets, and I'm just wondering, does that change your view and your conclusions from yesterday?
Well, thank you. The views are already very bad about the behavior of the authorities, about the regime of Lukashenko, what they do against their own population. So this statement, if implemented, would only add to the very bad impression that there is already in the international community. The authorities, the president, they lost legitimacy, and their image is really, really tarnished. First of all, in the eyes of their own citizens, for the way they chose in responding to their legitimate demands, which we support and for which we stand, with all the actions by the EU, be it the conclusions of the Foreign Affairs Council, be the conclusions of the European Council, and the restrictive measures that the EU is taking in order to react to all these things. The Foreign Affairs Council was very clear yesterday that there will be second round of the sanctions. These are flexible tools, so they are reviewed constantly, and if there is a need and if this bad behavior continues, the lists will be enlarged and new people or entities will come on it. So it's clear that the EU is determined to react to those events and at the same time continue in the outreach and calling for inclusive national dialogue and halt of the unacceptable repression against the peaceful protesters and against the own citizens.